Welcome back to Rated. Here at Backheeled, Rated is our series where we dive into the world of American soccer and rate it. If you have a topic that you'd like us to hit on future episodes, hit at us on social media and Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Backheeled. Now, without any further ado, let's get to rating. Up first this week, we have Gaga Slonina's transfer from the Chicago Fire to Chelsea. To lay the groundwork here, Gaga Slonina is an American teenage goalkeeper. He's 18, he's been a regular starter for Chicago, and he's headed over to the English Premier League with Chelsea for $10 million, according to reports, and that fee could rise from $10 to $15 million with particular add-ons. I'm gonna break this up into two pieces. For Chicago, I think this is a 10 out of 10. It's a great chunk of change for them to be rewarded in the process of developing a player, playing that player, and then selling them on. It's a nice chunk of change. And I think for Chicago, they should be a lot closer to the FC Dallas end of the talent development spectrum than they are right now. With Chicago having so much talent, this is a great move that hopefully incentivizes future moves for them going forward. So 10 out of 10 for the Fire. I'm giving Gaga Slonina in this case a 7 out of 10. It's great to be linked with Chelsea. They're a big club, a big name. They're the club of dreams for a lot of players. It sounds hyperbolic, but it's really not. The challenge here for Slonina is that it's hard to envision a path to playing time, right? They have a couple of other goalkeepers, certainly maybe more than two, that will be ahead of him immediately. Now, Slonina's not joining until the new year, so after the MLS season. So there is some time for things to change, but I give this a 7 out of 10 because I don't know what his playing situation is going to look like. That uncertainty has me dropping this score a few points. If something changes and Slonina does get to play, likely somewhere else on loan from Chelsea, it's a different story, but for now, 7 out of 10, hopefully rising in the future for Gaga Slonina. Up next, we have Riqui Puig's reported move to the LA Galaxy. I did a triple take, not a double take, a triple take when I saw this report for the first time. According to multiple outlets, 22-year-old Spanish central midfielder Riqui Puig is indeed heading to MLS and the LA Galaxy. This one kind of blows my mind. So Puig is a Barcelona player. He's come up through their system. He's a player that I think a lot of Barcelona fans and former coaches thought very highly of, but was never really able to break into the first team. Now he's looking for a new club. Barcelona are also looking to offload wages with a whole bunch of players, not just Riqui Puig. He's looking for a club, and it looks like he's headed to the LA Galaxy. This is a 10 out of 10 for me. The Galaxy are using their market really well. Puig is a really talented kid. He's not really a kid anymore, but he's a talented young central midfielder. The second he steps foot in MLS, the second he steps foot on a field in MLS, he's going to be the most talented central midfielder in the league. And I'm not even sure it's going to be that close. He's silky smooth on the ball, great at breaking lines on the dribble. He's a really good player that just never quite found the right spot in Barcelona. One last thought on this move. It's a 10 out of 10 for the Galaxy. It's a 10 out of 10 in general. I think this could be something bigger for Major League Soccer as a whole. In the past, it seems like if there had been a 22-year-old central midfielder that couldn't quite crack the Barcelona lineup, it seems like that player would have gone to Ligue 1 or would have gone to the Eredivisie or would have gone somewhere else in Europe. Now with Riqui Puig, yes, there's the appeal of the LA market. It's difficult to replicate that, but there could be something more here. This could start some sort of trend, and if it does, we won't know for a while, but if it does, this is a landmark deal for MLS. Either way, it's a 10 out of 10. Now, even if it doesn't work, it's a big profile and a great get for the LA Galaxy. Finally, to close out this week's episode of Rated, we're talking about the US Women's National Team's upcoming friendly against England. That's the world champions versus the European champions. We're being kind today with our ratings. You know we got to give this a 10 out of 10. It's a great game. I've talked about in the past how the U.S. Women's National Team needs to be challenged. The quality in CONCACAF, maybe outside of Canada, but maybe even Canada, based off what we saw at the W Championship, just isn't good enough to test this team, and they need to be tested. I think that's important for this group right now as they prepare for two major tournaments in the next 2 years. This is a great friendly. England coming off of their Euros win. It's going to be at Wembley Stadium, so it's a foreign environment for the U.S. Women's National Team. I like every single part of this. I like that it's not in the U.S. I like that it's against a really good England team who just might be the best team in the world, if not the best, certainly in the top 2 or 3 teams right now after what we saw against some other really good teams in Europe. This is a 10 out of 10, and we'll have plenty of coverage of this game and more national team stuff over at Backheeled.com. That's it for this week's episode of Rated. If you have a topic that you'd like us to talk about in a future episode, hit us on social media on Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok at Backheeled. For now, thanks for watching.